Hi my arty friends, and thanks again for joining me for another tutorial. This week I'll be showing you how to make a freeform resin coaster painted by hand in alcohol inks, and then applying a top coat using a new trick I taught myself for avoiding resin drips under the coaster. So I've only made one of these today, but you could use the same technique and make as many coasters as you want in your favourite colours. To start, I've already made a freeform mould using modelling clay, and I've placed it down on a baking sheet of silicone that I bought from the cooking section of my supermarket. And if you want to see a step-by-step tutorial on how to make these molds, click on the link card above or in the link down below. Make sure your table is level and mix yourself up some resin, just enough to go about 3/4 of the way up to the mould. And this mould is a circular shape and measures 4 inches or 10 centimeters. So I've made around 30 grams of resin, which is about an ounce, and to this I am adding around a teaspoonful of white pouring paint for the base colour. Mix it well and then pour it all into the mould and let it cure overnight. The next day, pull it off the silicone mat and remove all the modelling clay. Choose your favourite alcohol ink colours. I've chosen lime green, rainforest green and a metallic gold. And in the bottle I've added some pure isopropyl alcohol. I personally find it easier to pour from this bottle than from the actual big bottle it's sold in. Spread a thin layer of pure alcohol onto the coaster, and please don't forget to open any windows or use a mask to avoid fumes from the inks. And then straight from the bottle and undiluted, I add all 3 inks randomly in dots. And then using my heat tool, or you could use a small blow dryer, blow the ink slightly over the top until they blend together, or until you're happy with your design. If at some point you don't like an area, take some kitchen paper soaked in a little alcohol from the bottle and then dab gently to remove the ink. I personally like to leave some white space on my designs, but you can cover the entire coaster if you prefer. So I'm pleased with this so far, so I'm just going to leave it there. To remove any sharp edges from the resin, Use a sanding block and then file gently down the sides, avoiding the surface. To prevent any resin dripping on the back of the coaster, I am adding some more modelling dough to the outer edges. I'm pushing it down on the sides and I'm keeping the top flat and level to the coaster to avoid any lip on the top. And then to prevent the resin pouring down the side of the modelling clay, I am adding another ring of modelling dough to the outer rim. So this part is not necessary, but I do like to add some embellishments, and to do this I'm using the same gold ink and a fine paintbrush. I'll just add the one embellishment and then I'll make sure I dry it out properly before moving on to the top coat. For the top coat, I've made up another 20 grams or just a little more than half an ounce of clear resin. And then to pre-remove any air bubbles from the mixing, I like to swirl the resin in the cup and heat it up with my heat tool. Add all of this clear resin into the mould and let it dry for 24 hours. To get rid of any sharp edges, once again, use a sanding block to file gently, avoiding the surface. Use any gilding liquid of your choice and paint the edges, and then skim over the top of the coaster. And there you go. You've made a one-off piece of art on a functional coaster. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I will list all the products I've used down below in the description box. Take care everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye!